Mr. President, this week, the city of Washington becomes the command post of liberal democracy. It was my great honor to join earlier this morning with Leader McConnell and with my Democratic and Republican colleagues, welcoming to the Senate the Secretary General of NATO, as well as leaders of the UK, Germany, Sweden, and Finland. For the first time ever, we were proud to welcome the leaders of NATO's newest new members, Sweden and Finland. Standing in the same room with NATO's newest members, Sweden and Finland was a proud moment for us senators. It was a culmination of the work that began 2 years ago when the Senate, in a bipartisan way, overwhelmingly approved their accession to the alliance. I told the leaders of NATO that America will never turn its back on the alliance. I told them the Senate will always hold up its end of the bargain to support NATO and ensure we have the tools to keep the free world safe. And I urged everyone in the room to continue standing firmly with Ukraine. I applaud the members of NATO for their major announcement of a new round of aid that will help soldiers on the battlefield, brave Ukrainian soldiers. Later today, I'll also meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky at a bipartisan meeting of senators, and we will affirm yet again that the U.S. stands with them until the job is done. A few months ago, the Senate showed what leadership looks like by passing a sweeping supplemental package that delivered weapons and ammo and air defenses and missiles for Ukrainian soldiers. Unfortunately, sadly, many extremists on the hard right, led by Donald Trump, didn't want to send so much as a nickel to help Ukraine. They would have preferred to let Putin have his way in Europe. The hard right's softness towards Putin is a prime example of why they cannot be trusted to protect America on the world stage. I'm glad their opposition to Ukraine aid was ultimately unsuccessful, but a majority of Republicans in this chamber voted against that aid. And what really bothered me, Mr. President, was so many of the Republican Party has been a strong anti-communist, hawkish party since the days of Ronald Reagan, maybe earlier. And all of a sudden, when Donald Trump, whose knowledge of foreign policy is negligible, to put it kindly, it's often wrong, they turn around and do 180 degrees and oppose giving aid to Ukraine, and instead start to smile upon Putin. That, my fellow Americans, is a warning of what a Republican-controlled Senate would do if, God forbid, Trump becomes president. They would turn around on all their principles. Donald Trump could, on a whim, say something, and all of a sudden, yes, sir, they'll march in line with him. This Ukrainian example was a sad one.